Okay, so I am going to be working on a grant of arms text. This is a late-ish period 15th century English text that we're going to be constructing. And the reason why I'm doing this on video is because, again, this is one of those texts where it's not necessarily going to be like an independent work of art. I'm not writing poetry or anything like that. But instead, what I'm doing is I'm taking several extant samples of various grants or patent letters, and then I'm going to be constructing a text for the scroll recipient out of either these texts or additional other texts here. And so what I have up on the screen here is I have two things. One is I have samples of, this is probably 5 or 6 different grant letters that I found already in kind of the pre-research leading in here. And then on the right hand side there, I have just the kind of the number of browser tabs that I've been working with just to go ahead and find these texts. What's not covered there is the book that I purchased also from Amazon, which should be here in the next few days, but that also includes something like 75 different grant scrolls that were sent out in the 15th and 16th centuries. So, in any case, so I've done kind of the preliminary work, and I'm keeping those tabs open on the right hand side there just to go ahead and see if there's anything else that I want to use in the process of forming this text here. Right now, if I used all of these words, it'd probably be in the neighborhood. Well, it's 4,300 characters, and so we can assume it's probably in the neighborhood of 4 to 500 words. There's a lot of duplication in here, and it doesn't include any of the elements that we want to include in the scroll text. And there's certainly not everything that we want to go ahead and use, to go ahead and write this. It definitely has some of the elements that we want to go ahead and include, though. And one of the first things that doing the research into this particular scroll that I found is that they really started to standardize the language that they would include in these grant texts. If we look kind of, you know, the openings of these kind of 4 distinct chunks, we can see here that the first one begins, whosoever studieth the laws of the realm, whoso abideth. So it kind of goes directly into the accolades of the recipient, as opposed to any sort of invocation or any sort of introduction to the people receiving the text for the first time. The second one, again, kind of in a slightly older language, whereas aunciently from the beginning of the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons, right? So, again, kind of dealing with the at least metaphysical aspects or metaphysical attributes of the recipient themselves, instead of again, kind of that more formal introduction that you would see in later period texts. This last one here, this goes directly into what is being granted to the recipient. So the opening text is this coat of arms, that is to say, Ermyn on a pale sable, 3 crosses from formy, fitchy, gould, belonged to Edmond Criche, the third son of Edmond Criche, alias Criche of Oxfordshire, gentlemen. So again, so at least this one is saying, here are the arms that we're granting, who they're going to, and then kind of the second bullet point, and wanting further to ornament thereunto a convenient crest, right? And so it's kind of getting into what the document is actually saying, but again, still sort of lacking that introduction. And then finally, in this one here, and again later period, we see kind of the standard boilerplate text that we would see at the beginning of a scroll like this in the 15th and 16th century. To all in singular, as well nobles and gentlemen as others to whom these presents shall come. Right, and so that's sort of the stock entrance that would be used, and so that's going to be our formation line. Unless we decide to go ahead and do kind of a titular invocation, and I'm looking at kind of this quote in French here, plutôt la mort qu'offense la foi. You know, oh, I had the text exactly. I'll tell you here in a second. Again, just fancy Google machines. Um, yeah, I'll translate that. Yeah, basically, rather I would rather die than cause offense, right? And so, very kind of uh, medieval romance kind of, or uh, courtly love kind of expression, right? You know, twould be better to give to twould be better to die than to grant offense, and so what that was sort of a motto that was added to um, the bottom of scrolls, kind of in the royal invocation after a while. But so I'm kind of still going back and forth on whether or not we're going to use that or not. Um, but so we're going to go ahead and start constructing here. And so I'm just going to grab this text exactly as it appears there. To all in singular, to whom these presents shall come, right? And then we're going to start doing kind of the same, the same exercise that we've done before, where we're going to start analyzing these individual bits of text and decide what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. Kind of rank individual phrases for frankly their quality, right? So what are we going to want to, what do we want to keep, and what do we think is going to be most effective in terms of what's going to be most kind of impactful in the scroll that we're doing here. So we're just going to go ahead and start here. So the individual in question. So again, I mentioned that this is going to be a grant text. This is a court barony. And it's a court barony for a recipient who has done quite a bit of service to their local branch, and so that's sort of the model that we're going for here. They are also an artisan, although I'm not sure. I think they are probably grant level artisan also. They might be a laurel. I don't think so, though. I think that they're grant level. I'd have to go back and check that. But again, so when we're talking about specifically service, I like this bit about studying the laws of the realm, so I think we're going to go ahead and keep that. Let's see, whoso abideth in the universitie, giving their mind to his book, that, no. We're going to go ahead and nix that. Or professeth physic and liberal sciences, or beside his service in the room of a captain in the wares, or good counsel given at home. Or besides service in the room of a captain in the wares, or good counsel given at home. I like the good counsel given at home bit, but not the beginning part there, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Whereby the Commonwealth has benefited, so that's one that we can easily modify to go ahead and be about how the kingdom has benefited from their service. Can live without manual labor. Now, and thereunto will bear the port, charge, and continence. Yeah, so that's something that we can go ahead and grab and modify a little bit. If you know anything about the text that I do, I like those sort of repetition type lines, right? The kind of repetition by three that was so common in sort of a metaphysical approach to writing in general in the medieval period always kind of appealed to me. So I like that sort of stuff. Let's see. He shall for many have a coat and arms bestowed upon him by heralds. I like that. Who in the charter of the same due of custom. Yeah, no, I don't like that. We're gonna nix that bit. And thereunto being made so good. So I'm assuming maybe chap. So good cheap. I'm not sure. not sure what word that's supposed to be. And a lot of times you keep in mind, I mean, these are transliterations of the scroll text. They are trying to go ahead and basically OVR the script, and so they can go ahead and determine what it is. And so the language gets a little funny here. You kind of have to figure out sometimes what the mystery is, what the words actually are. And of course, I did not actually write down who this scroll was for, so I'm not. We'd have to go back and look back at the image to go ahead and see if we can verify the language here. But that might be something that we have to go ahead and do, but we're not going to do that right now unless we have to. Let's see. And thereunto being made so good and called master, was the title that men given to esquires and gentlemen and reputed for gentlemen. So that's got some stuff that we can go ahead and grab. In terms of sort of invocation-y type stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in yellow. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make bullet points out of this stuff. So I'm going to cut out my reds and the stuff that I didn't highlight at all, like all the filler type stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of organize this a little bit. Make sure I get all of that. Okay. Get rid of the red. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and organize the green together. Again, that's just kind of so that as I'm going through here, I can honestly I can go through this document as I'm kind of building the text itself and say, yep, I used this, yep, I used this, yep, I used this. No, and then the yellow stuff here. If I don't use that stuff, that's less of an issue. I'm just going to go ahead and organize this to go ahead and make sure. Yeah, okay. All right. So that's the first one. We're going to go through the second one now. So, whereas aunciently from the beginning, and I do like this one. This one I really liked because it's got sort of. I'm going to move my camera here. It has sort of. The language is a little archaic, which I kind of liked. So that's, Alright, so where aunciently from the beginning the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons have been commended to the world with sundry monuments and remembrances of their good. I'm not sure what that last. So it says deserts, but I'm suspecting that that's not the right word. But that's coming because I like that. In fact, I'm just going to even move that right up into my bullet points where they already are. Amongst the which the chiefest and most usual hath been the bearing of signs and shields called arms. We've already got something that says something like that. Where was it? Yeah, he shall have a money. He shall have he shall for many have a coat and arms bestowed upon him by heralds. So this is amongst the chiefest and most usual hath been the bearing of signs and shields. Signs in shields called arms. So I'm going to go ahead and nix that because we've already got something similar to that we're going to be using. Okay, which are evident demonstrations of prowess and valor. If this were a knighting, yeah, I would say go ahead and start with prowess and valor. But that's not what this is, so that's going to go away. Diversely distributed according to the qualities. And I'm going to suggest again, so there's that word desert again. I'm guessing that it's probably like deserving the qualities and deservedness of the persons, but that's even a strange word to go ahead and use. So I'm not, that this might be a word that we have to go back to the original scroll and see if we can figure out exactly what it is that they're talking about. Anyway, so talking about the coat of arms, diversely distributed according to the qualities. And I kind of like this, and so this kind of goes with this other line up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to paste it down below, and then I'm going to highlight it in yellow. So again, we've got kind of the individual points here, and then that one kind of thrown in there underneath the green, according to the qualities, which order as it was most prudently devised in the beginning, to stir and kindle the hearts of men, to the, that says imitation of virtue and nobleness. but I'm going to guess that that's a different word. And so we're going to, but I like that sentence. To stir and kindle the hearts of men. And I like how it goes with have been commended to the world with sundry monuments. So I'm going to kind of combine that stuff right there. I think that was, yeah, I think that was Xander sniffling a little bit there. All right, yeah, there's nobody knocking at the door. Okay, that's good. And then this word here, we're going to go ahead and see if we can figure out. I'm going to put this into a different color. Let's call it blue. That's kind of dark, though. I don't want that dark. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that because that's a word that I'm going to want to see if I can figure out, kind of where that came from, because I suspect it's not the imitation of virtue and nobleness. So, even so hath the same been, yet is continually observed. To then that such have done commendable service to their prince. Yeah, okay, here we go. To them that yeah, so the question is what that word is actually supposed to be, but we can skip over the exact word for right now, and kind of go for the sentiment, right? Continually observed. So continually observed, I think that would be very appropriate in this case. That such have done commendable service to their prince or to country, either in war or peace, both may receive due honor in their lives, and also derive the same successively for their posterity forever. And so again, I like this. Where would we give it? And it kind of goes with this, whereby the Commonwealth is befitted. So, yeah, I'm going to grab this last bit here, because honestly, if we're not sure what the word is, then I'm going to skip over it. So, where the Commonwealth. Okay. And again, just kind of organize all this stuff. And already it's starting to get a little kind of hectic, and so I'm going to go ahead and put some space in between these pieces, just so that I know which pieces go together and which pieces don't, right? And we're going to highlight this one in blue also, so that we can try to figure out sort of what word it is that's actually, what word that's supposed to be. Okay. All right. So this I like as sort of a, kind of a sign-off, arms guard. So that's the gentleman of the guard, or the king of arms, right? So that's just his formal title. Do confirm under the said person and his issue and testify the same under my hand and seal of office. And so that's one that we can go ahead and use for kind of our our sign off. Okay, let's look at this guy here. This is the one that begins this coat of arms. Make some room here. There we go. Coat of arms is to say blah 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 belongs to blah alias. Okay, I'm going to kick that out. I don't think that will fit. Wanting further for an ornament thereunto. So where do we talk about their arms? We talk about their arms here. Okay. To grant and assign him one which he may lawfully bear. Okay, cool. So this is talking. So basically, what this would be text really appropriate for like an augmentation of arms. But I think that I can go ahead and use it up here and do so pretty slickly. But let's see. Let's see if we can make. We'll throw it up here with the other bit about the arms, and then we'll see if we can make it work. Yeah. Okay. Which his request I have accomplished and granted. faced forth of a wreath of his colors, a demi-lion ermine crowned. Yep, okay, so this is talking about the actual changes, the actual augmentation to the arms that have been granted. All which arms and crest I set the guard to confirm to him the said Edmond Criche. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in there that I want. Okay. So let's go and grab this guy down here. And I'm actually going to go to the next page because I think it's going to go to the next page anyway. Oh, that'll be fine. Okay. So we know that this is our opening line. I'm going to grab it right now because and I'm going to put it up at the top because we know that that's how we're going to open. So, okay. Robert Cooke, esquire, and Clarenceaux, principal herald. Yep. So again, that's the title of the principal herald, the king of arms of the south, east, and west parts of the realm of England, from the River Trent southward, sendeth greetings. So that's the rest of the invocation from the herald itself that was issuing the grant, or delivering the grant, I suppose, because the grant was issued from the throne, but the herald was the one that would be delivering and signing off on the grant itself. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it up there and put it in yellow underneath this guy. I'm not convinced that I actually want to use it, so we'll see. Yeah. That being required of Henry Draper Colon in the country of son and heir of Henry Draper of Bedford, gentlemen, to make search in the records and office for such arms and crest as he may lawfully bear. Whereupon, considering his request to be reasonable, I have made search according whereby I found he may lawfully bear the arms and crest hereby following. Right. Okay. So this is basically saying that Henry Draper of Bedfordshire came to the principal herald and said, "Hey, I've got these family arms. I want to be able to use them," and the herald is confirming that. He said that he found them. Yeah. That is to say, here's the blazon as more plainly ever depicted in this, as more plainly depicted in the margin, right? And so the arms were painted in the margin. The which arms and crest and every part of the parcel thereof, the said Clarenceaux, king of arms, by every authority in my office annexed by and granted by letters patents, right, under the seal, under the great seal of England, do ratify, allow, and confirm unto said blah blah blah, and to his posterity and their due difference, and they the fame to bear and show in shield, coat, armor, or otherwise at his, okay, without impediment or interruption. Okay, yeah. Okay. The which arms and crest. So that part I'm not. So okay. So the part about searching I don't care about. Let's get rid of that. That I don't care. And then this part here. The which arms and crest and every part and parcel thereof. By every authority of my office annexed and granted under the great seal of England, do ratify, allow, and confirm unto the said Henry Draper, gentleman, and to his posterity and their due difference, and their fame, to bear and show the shield, coat, and armor, without impediment or interruption of any person or persons, in witness thereof, I have set unto my hand. So annexed and granted by letters patent under the great seal of England, yeah, do ratify, allow, and confirm unto Papa and to his posterity. Yeah. I'm gonna grab this bit about. Yeah, I'm gonna grab it by every. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll put this. I'm gonna slide that over also. Then do the same thing here. Okay, and then in witness thereof. And that'll be a nice exit, you know. Fix some of my spacing here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put this here because I'm going to combine those because those I want together. Oops. Okay, and I want that scooted over. There we go, just like that. Okay. Okay. So now what we have is our outline, right? We have our outline of the major points that we want to hit, and then some of the things that we want to bring in with modification. And so now the next thing that we're going to need to do is go ahead and kind of order them. Google Docs is not a great, it's not a great tool for that. So I've used some like whiteboard type tools before. So for example, yeah, apparently I haven't used Microsoft Word whiteboard in a while. Yeah, I know. Okay. So what I want to do. Okay, I want to take all these texts, all these chunks of text, put them into notes. No, that's... okay, and I want it to... okay, we're going to do this a different way. We're going to just grab the green text, because otherwise it's going to get nasty. Oh, come on, stop it. There we go. Except it didn't copy. There, okay. Alright, and then add another one. Do the same thing there. Okay, let's do another one. No. Okay. So we're just kind of throwing everything in here, and we're going to I'm going to grab this one here, and then this last line here, and then we might go ahead and grab, like I said, some more of these here in the middle, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep if I don't decide to go ahead and use them, right? I've got all the major ones that I want to use. Okay. Alright, so these are the pieces that I know that I want to use, and so let me get them out from behind. Okay. Okay, it's not going to let me play with the size, that's fine. Okay, and so I know that the first one that I want to use is this one here. And so I'm going to kind of move these over here. I know I'm putting it behind my camera, but that's fine. So I know that that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to start. And then we know that's going to be the end. Okay. And so when we're trying to decide kind of what happens next, yeah, there we go, that's better. When we're trying to decide what happens next, let's scoot this up, and I'm going to scoot this down. We're going to fill in all this gap in the middle here. Let's see, so I think probably the whereas anciently from the beginning of the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons, I think that whole chunk goes next. And then probably this whosoever studies the laws of the realm. We can fit in the have been commended. Sundry monuments, right? He shall have, for many have a coat of arms bestowed upon him by the heralds, to stir and kindle the hearts of men. That kind of leaves the good counsel given at home line out, but I think that that's actually okay. So let's kind of organize this a little bit here. Okay, so that's kind of the way that this is going to snake on down. Okay, so from here, now we can kind of use this as a guidepost to go ahead and show us what are the major points that we want to go ahead and hit. Right? All right, so I'm done with. Come on, that's what I want you right there. Okay. No, I need you over. I need you. There we go. Okay. Alright. So now we open a new document. And we start again. So now we should have two. There. That's the one that I want right there. I was really nervous that I just lost this entire thing. Thank you, Google Docs. Okay, so we're going to start with this one here. Oops, actually, you know what, I'm going to paste without formatting. Okay, to all and singular as to all and singular nobles and gentles, nobles and gentles, as others to whom these presents shall come. Do I want to invoke Brigantia by title as they did in the original? So this is where I'm going to start to get a little poetic here, but I'm going to say greetings from the tiger throne of the east and Brigantia her voice. Okay. So that takes care of all that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is whereas anciently from the beginning, whereas anciently, okay, oops, there, I did it again. Okay, whereas anciently from the beginning the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons, okay, Okay, so that's actually the extent of what I have there. Okay, so that's fine. We can. This is actually already in order. And then what is whosoever studieth the laws of the realm? Okay, so we're going to switch this around a little bit here. So we're going to throw that up there, right? Because we want to go ahead and kind of combine those two there. And then... Right, and then we can go ahead and throw that in the middle there. And then we can go, so basically start a second phrase. Alright. And in context, whereas anciently from the beginning the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons have been commended to the world with sundry monuments and remembrances of their good deeds. I'm going to just change that word altogether. Bingo. Okay. Then next we're going to go say, so whosoever studieth the laws of the realm, good counsel given at home, and we're going to switch that around a little bit too. Provide good counsel in the barony of their home. Okay. Whosoever studieth the laws. Okay, so since this is only two, I'm going to make that an and provide good counsel in the barony of their home. Shall for all, for many to. I'm going to put C in brackets here because I'm not sure that I actually like that word. Shall for many to witness have a coat and arms bestowed upon them by heralds and crown. Granted. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there right now, because where this is a grant of arms, I'm going to throw it in now. Whosoever studieth the laws of the realm and provide good counsel in the barony of their home shall, for many to witness, have a coat and arms granted upon them by heralds and crown. To be diversely distributed. Have a witness have a coat of arms granted upon them. To be diversely distributed. Bang. What else do I have underneath there? Let's see, and wanting further ornament thereunto. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to skip out on that for now because it's not. Again, that's more of a. If this were an augmentation, that would be perfect, but it's not. By every authority. Okay, here we go. Okay. And we're going to paste this in here. Okay, so by every authority, I'm going to take that out. Annexed. and this is where I'm going to go ahead and include. Oh, I'm actually not sure which reign this is going to be presented in. I'm going to have to check that. King and Queen. Under the Great Seal of the Eastern Kingdom. By every authority annexed and named by blah 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 under the Great Seal. So that's kind of a weird sentence, actually. By every authority to my office annexed and granted by letters patent on the Great Seal of England, do ratify and allow. So, what was the original? The original was by every authority. Where was that guy? Okay, here we go. The which arms and crest and every part and parcel, therefore, I, the said Clarenceaux, by every authority under the Great Seal of England, do ratify. Okay, so this is when the herald is talking through the letter. Okay, so by every authority. Okay, so I do need to go ahead and change this. By every authority annexed and named by under the Great Seal of the East. These arms are ratified and granted. I've already said granted, so and allow and confirm unto the recipient. And yeah, take that bit about their posterity out with their due deference. And ratified to allow and confirm with their due deference. Okay, I'm going to take that bit out to bear and show in shield, coat, armor, and otherwise at their liberty and pleasure without impediment, let, or interruption of any person or persons. Bingo. Okay, let's go back to my plot here. Okay. So that's the whosoever bit. He shall. Okay, I've already got that. Right? That's the he shall from many have a coat of arms bestowed. Have I included that? Have a coat of arms grant. Yep, okay. Yep. Okay, so what about this to stir bit? To stir. Okay, so we're gonna. The good deeds. Remembrances, sundry moments and remembrances of their good deeds. Yep, okay. Whereas anciently from the beginning, the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons have been commended to the world with sundry moments and remembrances of their good deeds to stir and kindle the hearts of men to the... Boy, I really want to know what word that's supposed to be. I'm really going to need to go ahead and look it up because it can't be imitation. They wouldn't have been asking other people to imitate. I suppose it's possible. Maybe I just need to. I just think it sounds weird in a modern parlance, though. So I'm going to look for a different word on that. I don't like that. All right, but I'm going to let that go for now. So let's see here. Let's see. Whereby the Commonwealth has benefited, done commendable service to their prince. Yeah. Let's throw this in here too. Whosoever. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to throw this guy in here too. Yeah, and boy, this scribe is going to sort of hate me because there's a lot of period spelling in here, whereby this kingdom has benefited. Whereby their service has benefited their kingdom. There we go. Actually, whereby they have served to the benefit of their kingdom, done commendable service to their king and queen, prince and princess, and barony, either in war or in peace. May they receive due honor in their lives and also derive the same. Okay, and receive that due honor. May that receive. Yeah, I'm just gonna yank that. Authority annexed and named. Yeah, okay. Yep, cool. Cool. So I've got the. Okay, so I've got that bit. Okay. Okay, and then in here, this is where I can go ahead and throw this line here, because, yeah, okay, without formatting, thereunto being made, thereunto being made they shall be conferred with the title of Baroness of the Court. The title... you know what? I'm just going to ditch that part. From this date conferred with the title of Baroness of the Court by every authority annexed and named by the King and Queen of the Great Seal of the Eastern Kingdom. These arms are ratified to allow and confirm unto the recipient with their due deference, with all due deference, to bear and show the shield, show and shield. I'm going to put commas, coat, armor, or otherwise at their liberty and pleasure without impediment, let, or interruption of any person or persons. Okay. There we are. And then, okay. Alright, and we're going to take these guys here and paste them. A witness thereof. Witness thereof. Set hereunto is the seal of office witness thereof to testify the same, a witness thereof and testify the same, set hereunto, yeah, okay, is the seal of the kingdom, 14th, here we go, the date of receipt. Okay. And yank that. Okay. Cool. So that's the basic structure of the text that we're going to be using here. So to all and singular nobles and gentles, to all and singular nobles and gentles, as others to whom these presents shall come, greetings from the tiger throne of the east, and Brigantia her voice. Whereas anciently from the beginning the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons have been commended to the world with sundry monuments and remembrances of their good deeds, to stir and kindle the hearts of men to the imitation of virtue and nobleness. Whosoever studieth the laws of the realm, and provide good counsel in the barony of their home, shall for many to witness have a coat and arms granted upon them by heralds, and crown to be diversely distributed, whereby they have served the benefit of their kingdom, done commendable service to their king and queen, prince and princess and barony, either in war and peace. The recipient shall receive that due honor. Thereunto from this date they shall be conferred with the title of Baroness of the Court. Okay. And okay. Actually, I'm going to make that due honor, and thereunto shall be conferred with the title of Baroness of the Court by every authority annexed and named by King and Queen, or the Great Seal of the Eastern Kingdom. These arms are ratified to allow and conform unto, with all due deference to bear and show in shield, coat, armor, or otherwise, at their liberty and pleasure, without impediment, let or interruption of any kingdom or of any person or persons, in witness thereof to testify the same. To testify the same, set hereunto is the seal of the kingdom. Okay, so to all and singular nobles and gentles, as others to whom and others to whom these presents shall come, greetings from the tiger throne of the east, and Brigantia her voice. Whereas anciently from the beginning the valiant and virtuous acts of worthy persons have been commended to the world with sundry monuments and remembrances of their good deeds, to stir and kindle the hearts of men to the imitation of virtue and nobleness. Whosoever studieth the laws of the realm, and provide good counsel in the I'm going to take out that good counsel, shall for many to witness have a coat and arms granted upon them So, again, just to kind of underscore that, I've taken to using gender neutral language in all of my scrolls. The word men is one thing that I will keep in, but hims or hers will be replaced with thems and theirs. It's a personal choice, whatever. Um, but I think it's the right thing to do. End point. Whosoever studieth the laws of the realm and provide good counsel shall for many to witness have a coat and arms granted upon them by heralds and crown to be diversely distributed, whereby they have served to the benefit of their kingdom, done commendable service to their king and queen, prince and princess and barony, either in war or peace. Recipients shall receive that due honor, and thereunto shall be conferred with the title of Baroness of the Court, by every authority annexed and named by King and Queen under the great seal of the Eastern Kingdom. These arms are ratified to allow and confirm unto the recipient with all due deference to bear and show in shield, coat, armor, and otherwise at their liberty and pleasure without impediment, let or interruption of any person or persons, in witness thereof, to testify the same, set hereunto as the seal of the kingdom, the blah blah blah, the 14th day of whatever, and of societatis. So there'll be some cleanup here to go ahead and make sure that the wording is exactly the way that I want it, to include the recipient's name, the event that it's going to be named at, and everything like that. But for the most part, this is done, and the word count, I'm guessing, 226. So it's for Grant, it's going to be right in the neighborhood. I mean, it's under 250, so we're going to be in good shape. So there you go. Please, by all means, I hope that this was enjoyable. I would love to go ahead and hear questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts on how to go ahead and, how to go ahead and improve this. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you sat through it. Thanks. Bye.